All right, we filled up our first wheelbarrow full of compost. So we still got a lot left over here. And here's the new pile over here. It's doing okay. It should be doing okay. And so we just take this over and dump it in the raised bed. Spread it out, and then I'll show you what I do after that. On this side. Dump it in. And I just use this rake, regular old rake. I just put it upside down. Push the compost and spread out. You can see this area in here is a little bit higher than the rest because I had already transferred some compost to here a few months ago. Spread this out, kind of an even layer. Once we've got our new layer of new compost on top, we'll come back with a rototiller, mix it in, then we'll have a nice soil conditions for our vegetables. All right, so that's what we do. I'll just keep doing that, and when we get all done, I'll show you what happens next. All right, we're down at just about the bottom. So at this point, here's what we got over here. The rest is either in the wheelbarrow or over in the raised bed already. So from here, we just lift this last section up, and we'll deal with the very bottom of the compost heap. All right, so there we go. Last section. Disentangle it from the. There we go. Disentangle it from the screen on the bottom. Put it up over here. All right. So you can see we moved each section over one at a time and took the compost out as we went. We just need to shovel the rest of this out, screen it, and then we'll be done. So. All right, so here's what we spent all that time for. Here's our seedlings for our garden. Got tomatoes, green beans, spinach, and zucchini. We have some peppers back here, but they haven't sprouted yet for some reason. I'll have to check into that. But that's why we did all this work. Spent about 2.5 hours turning over the compost. So now it's in this state. So what I usually do during the week is I put the cuttings of the kitchen scraps on this side. Then once a week I flip this over. I don't bury it every day. Some people think you need to do that, but I don't really have time to do that. And it doesn't really, unless you have a lot of extra material you can add to it every day to bury stuff, then it just doesn't work. Because if you bury it one day and then you have to flip it over this side the other day, then you're exposing what hasn't been composted yet. So I bury it once a week. Meanwhile, the flies have fun. They're still having fun even when it's buried pretty much, but it does cut them down for a day or two. And we just put the top back on. This top is heavy enough so the raccoons can't get it. So the main thing to recap is have a screen on the bottom to prevent gophers and rats from digging from underneath. Have some kind of a barrier around it, if you can, to keep the raccoons out of it, and also the rats. And keep an eye out for rats trying to gnaw through your wood. For tools, you need a fork and a flat bottom shovel to get, or flat bladed shovel to get the bottom part out. And then you need the sifting thing in a wheelbarrow. So like I was saying before, it's probably not really cost effective to do this, but it makes you feel better and it's good exercise, because the alternative is to just buy potting soil. This potting soil, 1.5 cubic feet of potting soil is probably $8–9. So the amount of compost I produce is probably maybe 3 cubic feet. So a couple of these, maybe 3 of them. So about $20 maybe for 2.5 hours. You know, that's less than $10 an hour. So it's not really cost effective. But you know, here's a fresh layer of compost. We're going to use the rototiller to mix it up with the existing soil, and then it'll be ready for another year. So you have to decide for yourself if it's worth it. It's worth it for me, and I'll just sign off for now. If you like these videos, please subscribe and give it a like, and if you get enough likes, then maybe I'll make some more of these gardening ones. Have fun.